Good afternoon, good day, or good morning, or whatever it is where you are. I hope you are having a wonderful time, a wonderful day, or a wonderful time too. Maybe you're have a case of beer beside you, uh, and just enjoying the drink. I don't know. But in any case, uh, we are here in beautiful Nayarit, Mexico. And I am a believer that we are here in this world to enjoy life. Now, that is contrary to what the uh, elite or whatever you want to call those people, those creeps that are in power. Um, that have been manipulating all of the news media. Everything that they do is backwards and lies and corruption to the highest levels. There is stuff these people do that is so absolutely disgusting and uh, but you know what? There is now a way out. There is now a way that we can stop supporting their stupidity. All the wars, all of that, there was World War I and World War II, and I mean, misery upon misery upon misery that has been, you know, uh, and it's all by the same people, just the same few people. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, there for the last 100 or whatever years, they have been working uh, very hard to enslave humanity completely, to an absolute complete enslavement. And well, quite frankly, there is worse than just enslavement behind it, what they had in mind. However, with cryptocurrencies coming along, they have been derailed. Their plans have been derailed. The question now is humanity as a whole, are we all, us together as humanity, are we going to stand up and, we don't really have to stand up to them and fight. That's not even really necessary. All we have to do is bypass their system and just simply start living a peaceable life on our own. Okay, well, maybe that's a little more than what you can understand right now, and okay, well, so be it. But let me share the screen for a little bit. I'm going to show you a video clip for just a couple of seconds or something. I don't know, maybe a couple of minutes. So let's go there. So let's go to a video clip that, okay, here.
Sorry about that, and I think this was done on purpose. And this was to counter what was coming, and that was in a Clinton email investigation. Remember, WikiLeaks, Assange dumped all her emails, and I think they're trying to counter the story. Now, Trump, he said he doesn't know anything about this. He has no clue what is going on. He doesn't know if there's an indictment or not. We had no confirmation from the Department of Justice. But I wanted to go back to post 2322 because I do believe that this clears it all up. Q posted in 2322, October 3rd, gave us a link to the Freedom of Information Act website and told us, go to page 20, Assange arrest. And it says, by Marty Tory, and it's in brackets bold, Mad Hatter. Now, this letter, which was unclassified, this was 9/26/2018. This was addressed to Hillary Clinton, hdr22@clintonemail.com. Subject was Assange arrest, etc. And it said, H, which is Hillary, been waiting to hear this great news. He must have made your life miserable. Simply a bad guy. So tired of people who try to damage the U.S. while the U.S. does so much for others. Where is the justice and common sense these days? Of all the current world madness somehow gives you time to prepare for Christmas and enjoy these simple things. Took, and this is redacted, to pick out Christmas trees last weekend. If there is better stuff than that, I don't know what it is. Anyway, hope the wiki leaker gets what is coming to him. Happy Christmas, Preps M. So they were actually talking about WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, about getting him. They've been trying to get him. And I believe they leaked this out to counter everything that is coming, to show that there was an indictment against Assange. So he's a bad guy. So you really shouldn't listen to him. And I think this is just the beginning. I think we're going to see that the mainstream media and the rest come out with more of these stories and project out there as the window closes. Now, out in North Korea, we see that North Korea has destroyed 10 border posts on the DMZ per agreement with South Korea. Now, there is peace going on around the world. Very difficult to see it because you need to look very carefully at it. There's peace between North Korea and South Korea, United States, China, and the rest. Peace is happening in Yemen right now. There's going to be peace in Syria. There's going to be peace in Libya, Lebanon. Remember, all of these wars, they were set up by the deep state. And there wasn't a winner or loser. They just wanted these wars to continue while they had their puppet machine in place to keep the petrodollar system going. And we can see that it's all falling apart right now. And they know this. Let's move on to Q's post. This is post 2494. And it starts off with the article of the Hill. And it's the House GOP to hold hearings into the Department of Justice probe of Hillary Clinton. And Mr. John Huber with the Department of Justice and the FBI, they've been having an investigation. At least part of his task was to look at the Clinton Foundation and what may or may not have happened as it relates to improper activity with that charitable foundation. So we set a hearing date for December 5th. Now, we know mainstream media.
I'm gonna shut that off here. Of course, if you have interest in it, that video is found on blog.thebillioncoin.info. Okay, and so it's one of the very most recent posts there, and today is 11. It's 26, the 11th day of 2018. Sorry? Yeah, it's 26th day of the 11th month. Okay, so it's, yeah, November 26, 2018. Just so that you can easily locate that video in case you wanna, watch more there. But what I want to do in this here video now, there's a lot of this stuff that is going on in the U.S., it must be a very uh, a difficult place for very many people, I'm guessing, in the States, especially for people who follow the news, whether it's one or the other. Uh, there's no doubt uh, that it's hard mentally. It would be mental stress, because of everything that, how things are, all that's going on. But let's just be glad, and let's just rejoice in the fact that all those wars that was going on and that they just kept going, the killing people, it's coming to an end. If it hasn't completely stopped yet, well, it is stopping. It is, you know, uh, we soon say, well, oh, well, now there's peace between those countries. Well, uh, I don't think we have any reason to believe that there wasn't always peace. Uh, However, what we, uh, you know, if there was war and fighting or whatever, it wasn't because that there was enmity between the countries. It was more that there was manipulation of the elite. And of course, right now, we can also see manipulation in the cryptocurrency market. And this is what I wanted to also touch on in this video. If we look at coin market cap right now, which I'm going to do here, I'm just going to actually go to the home page, because that is where we would see uh, the where we can kind of scroll more through, sort of see all of the uh, cryptos. Now, um, I'm gonna just say here that that as the stock markets are failing, the old the cow that the elite have been milking for over 100 years now, this cow is dying. It's been very sick for some time, and it's literally dying now. And what they are at the moment, what they are working on, or what they are desperately trying to do, is to keep the price of the crypto markets down, so as to not to go higher than what the stock markets are. Because yes, the stock markets is that old cow I was talking about. So because if the stock markets, if the price of the stock markets, which they have been propping up for who knows how long, if that falls lower than Bitcoin, and Bitcoin seems to be more stable, people are going to pull their money out. And well, that would make them look bad. And no, they have an image to maintain. Yeah, yeah, they have an image to maintain. They have to always try to make sure that all of their lies look like truth, and that all of their manipulation all looks like it's naturally happening. All of that, basically everything that humanity has been taught in education and in the market and in colleges, universities, no matter where you go, the one thing that we should have been taught everywhere, it wasn't being taught anywhere, which is, how does the monetary system work? How is money created? Henry Ford, he was right when he said, um, it is well that the American people do not know um, how the banking system works. I'm sorry, I can't quote it word for word. Um, for if they did, then I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. You see, there were a few people who understood how the banking system works and the central banks, and we can see them at work here right now. This here manipulation of Bitcoin. Now, they have been, while they were busy over the news media, screaming and condemning and demonizing Bitcoin, they were busy buying Bitcoin by the massive quantities, and of course, whenever they would buy, whenever they over the news media would yell buy, that's when it was time to sell, and when they would yell sell, that's when it was time to buy. I mean, this is how these people have always manipulated. Did I say people? I didn't say people, did I? Okay, so now let us go to another blog post actually that I wanted to focus on as well. And now if my computer is going to cooperate with me here, then I think we'll be able to, do just fine. All right. So, oh yes, it was a search. It was a search, and it was cookie rewards. Cookie rewards. Let's go there, because I think that is where that post, and I was reading this earlier. Broadcasters get the top cookie rewards, and hey, cookie rewards. I'm going to. Oh no, that is not the. That is not the. I apologize. That's not the. It was cookie rewards. Okay, so cookie. But it was one of the posts here regarding cookie rewards. Okay, to the policy. Here it is. Here it is, guys. Yep. Yeah, this is that post. Okay, so on this post here, I've read this before, but I just read some more this morning, and I read another post, and then I also come onto this one here and read, and I was just really, really newly inspired by what I read here. Okay, so in this article, I will cover why some exemptions will be made to the policy of the maximum amount of TBC coins that can be given to an individual through cookie rewards is 100 lifetime total TBC coins. And of course, then he's giving us the article here that states that, okay? Now, and but he says before I get into these those exceptions, I need to make a few things very clear, and I want to just say here, I have to admit I truly appreciate what admin is doing it like this. That listen, I need to make a few things very clear. Very clear. Okay, so now TBC is not a currency with a mission, it is a mission with a currency. when you study the public notice, which there's a link to here as well, you studied the public notice. This because notice this becomes more clear. Okay, and then of course we can read that. So also you should know a legal structure has been put in place where all 1 billion TBC coins are in a master trust, and subtrusts in okay, sorry, and subtrust is created for every TBC wallet and the coins they hold beneath the master trust. You don't own TBC. Before you get a send button in your TBC wallet, you must pass the send button test, right? Let's look at question number 2. Okay, and so, well, why not read it? Okay, because we are a private community, we are entitled to self regulation with our centralized coin network, and discounters of our coin will have their send button turned off by admin. Other abusive behavior within our community should also result in, or could also result in, the same thing. If a member's send button is turned off, they will be given a period of time to reform, and then they can get their send button turned back on. We have seen that decentralized coins tend to lose their value because of a small number of people discounting them. Will drive the price down sharply and ultimately create loss of users of those coins. And a coin best a coin such as ours, which is based on the principle of abundance, requires a responsible admin to regulate its use centrally. The best way to view our coin is a community is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. We are allowed to transact with our coin at any price of your choosing. That's question. That's one of the questions, or that is the question, and then we got 2 answers to it. No. Our coin is part of a private community, and you must have and you have to contact all or conduct all transactions at the public current price only. And then of course then there's the wrong question. Yeah. So and this question has to be answered correctly in order to even get your send button on. All right. But here's what I would like us to understand. So after the question, or after the answer, or the wrong answer, He says the correct answer is no. And then, of course, the answer is basically put there again. But look at what he says then. Pay close attention to these sentences. The best way to view our coin is as community property, and each member is a steward over their portion. This is implied within the membership agreement. Once you understand how the uh, subtrust protects you and the whole TBC community, you will get very excited. Let me give you an example uh, of the principle here. Okay, now, because I am a much faster talker than what I am a reader, I'm just going to, instead of reading it, uh, give the basic scenario here. And that is that two owners each had a dog. One had his dog as took out a separate, or I mean a trust for his dog. And his dog was basically, he was controlling it because he was in control of that trust. But the dog was on its own in that trust. There was no other commodity, nothing else in that trust besides that dog. So he didn't actually own the dog. He had the dog in that trust. But then he also, another lady also had a dog, or some other poor person had a dog. And now let's look at the scenario of the two dogs. The poor person's dog bit a rich person. The rich person sues the poor person's dog. Now the poor person, of course, he had a dog and he had a license for it, everything, you know, license, of course, you got to have a license. Anything you want to have, anything you want to own, you need a license for it. You know, with a government approval on it that it's yours. But you see what a license does. This poor man had that license, the dog, you know, the dog was the license, and now the dog bit a rich person, and the rich person sued him at the court of law and ended up garnishing his wages to get the fine paid. Now, look at the rich person who had a dog in a trust. A poor woman got bitten by this rich man's dog, and so she thought, this is my chance to get rich. So she tried to sue the rich man, but because the dog was in a trust and didn't belong to him, the court case was dropped because there's nothing in the trust to sue against. Now, I understand that it's exciting to own things. Yeah, it is exciting. But listen, what if you don't own it and control it instead of owning it? When you don't own it, it's you know, when you don't own it, it is you get to control it, but it can't bite you like that, right? But this scenario here, of course, is how it works in the public law, public legal system. And now in TBC, if we look at it, it really works out to be the same thing. We are better off having our TBC in a trust, and we become stewards of that portion. And that way, there is it gets looked after, and it gets the price is being held up or upheld, because if anybody in the entire community, if they go and they start they start to jeopardize the community, well, because he doesn't actually own it, really doesn't have the right to go and discount it. Therefore, he must adhere to regain access and control of that trust. He must adhere to the laws in place of that trust. You know, guys, the way I see it, this is a beautiful picture. This is a beautiful picture. Now, of course, I didn't go over this whole article here, but there is a much more very, very good stuff, very exciting stuff, and I think I already have a half hour in, so I'm going to stop the screen share here, and I'll have to take the rest of this up another time, and so we'll do that. All right, so we'll stop the screen share, and then we'll go here back to the video. Okay, so all right, so anyhow, thank you very much. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not in the TBC community, then I encourage you, go through that article, read the public statement as well, the public notice. There is awesome information in there that really helps you understand better what's going on, okay? So, with that said, thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day or evening or whatever it is that's in front of you, okay? Peace.